Hi YouTube, it's your girl Jamie. I am back. I do apologize for not updating you guys earlier on where I am in my cancer journey. Let's do a recap. So September of 2016, I found out that I had triple negative breast cancer in my left breast. I was grade 3, stage 2B with lymph node infiltration. I have what they called infiltrating ductal carcinoma. Sorry. And devastated, but I felt like at the time I was ready for a good fight. I started chemo in October. I did technically 6 months of chemo. I had to take 2 breaks during chemo because of illness, spiking fevers, potential for infection, as my body had gotten so weak. I did 4 doses of adriamycin and Cytoxan, which is a red devil cocktail. And then I went on to do 12 weeks straight of Taxol, which actually ended up being 14 weeks because I had to take a break. After I finished chemo, I got to ring the bell on March 15th, done with chemo, got my little certificate to say that I completed it. I was happy. You would think I would be more excited, but I was so tired at that point that although I was happy I was done, I was just exhausted. And so I couldn't even really enjoy the fact that it was done because I felt so done. So after chemo finished, I had to allow my body to heal before surgery. I went in for surgery on April 21st. 2 things happened. April 20th, my menstrual cycle came back. So that's the night before my surgery. The reason that it's so important is chemotherapy put me in an accelerated state of menopause, which prior to chemo, because we knew that that was a potential to happen, I had to have my eggs harvested just in case I did not get my cycle back and I want to have children in the future. So most people at my age, being 40 and now 41, when they are put into that chemo-induced menopause, they do not come out of it. So I've just been sort of an anomaly, number one, because I got cancer relatively young and I got an aggressive form relatively young. Number two, when they typically harvest eggs prior to chemo, from what I understand is most individuals only produce a maximum of 10 eggs, you know, if they're lucky when they go through that process. I had 40 and 38 were viable, 2 were not, which was beyond amazing. And then for my cycle to come back, literally just over a month after I finished chemo, and it's been a regular basis, is also pretty extraordinary. So night before my surgery, April 20th, my cycle come back. So now I'm like, oh my God, I hope I don't have cramps and, you know, moody and just horrible, in pain, and then have to have surgery on top of that. But I'm ready for surgery April 21st to go in, and guess what? My blood pressure is extremely high, out of this world high, stroke level high. So my doctors informed me that they cannot perform surgery safely on me for fear of bleeding out or having a stroke right there on the table. Went home, totally disappointed. My aunt had came from Louisiana to be with me and we didn't have surgery, so I was pretty bummed. They rescheduled my surgery for May. Went in surgery May 11th, and I was in surgery for almost 7 hours. It should have been about a 5-hour surgery, but they had issues with my lymph node resection, which Dr. Miller did. Went in there, all the lymph nodes look good, but they want to take them out just in case a microscopic cancer cell, rogue cell got away. My lymph nodes under my arm were so compacted and clustered together. When they only wanted to take 5 or 6, they ended up having to take 15 just because they were so clumped together. And that caused the surgery to run long. With that, Dr. Clark, my breast reconstruction surgeon, did, after the lumpectomy was done, did a breast reduction and lift on my right breast to make it even with my left breast. As after they took out the area that the cancer tumor was in, they had to take out extra breast tissue, which reduced the size of my breast. So for all intents and purposes, they're the same size, although they do look different because the one that had extensive surgery on it maintains a level of swollenness. So it sits a little bit higher. Surgery went well. Recovery was easy for the most part. It sucked having to deal with the drains, but basically 14 days after surgery, I was partying it up in Miami, Fort Lauderdale for Memorial Weekend with my best friends, the majority of my best friends in the whole wide world. And I couldn't get in the water, of course, because although they had taken my drains out, I still had open wounds where the drains were. My breast tissue scars, those were closed up. Everything was good, but so I didn't get to get in the water, but I did have a great time. We went out every night. I was able to drink liquor. And what I found out is after chemo, for some reason, I don't seem to get tipsy or drunk. Not that I was trying to get drunk, but one of those nights I did drink a lot and everyone else was hungover except for me. So I don't know. Perks of chemo. I don't even drink that much, but I was just hadn't been out, spent that much time with my best friends in a while. And so I was just partying, and I don't get drunk anymore. Chemo did something to my metabolism, clearly. So after that, after surgery, I went on vacation. Like I said, after vacation, I had to heal a little bit more, and then I did radiation. I did 25 sessions of radiation. You go basically Monday through Friday. So I went for 5 weeks, and I didn't really burn until the very, very end. It was like maybe treatment 23 or 22 where my skin started to peel. But it wasn't super painful because by the time the layers had started to peel, I had fresh skin underneath. The result of that is it kind of goes across like this and down like a square. That is probably 3 shades darker than the rest of my body. It also makes the skin a little tighter and tougher. And so it feels different than the right side, the actual skin. So I'm working on that, trying to keep it supple and moisturized, and hopefully the discoloration will fade some. I'm using silicone patches and silicone gel for scar treatment. And so I finished radiation on August 8th. I then reported back to work on the 14th, I believe it was, but I was informed that I no longer had a position. I'm unemployed. So another wonderful remnant of trying to fight cancer. Evidently, I was gone too long dealing with cancer. And in order for the business needs, they had to hire other people to take my position. So that is from beginning to end. Now, today what I'm left with is I don't have neuropathy. As you can see, my hair has grown in. I have eyebrows, like, even though I have these filled in, but I do have my own eyebrows, lashes. Pretty much the hair has come back. It's just a lot lighter everywhere else. My hair on my head is still super thick, but everywhere else is thin. Like, I don't have to shave I like shave my legs once a month, and that's only because I get some stragglies and you can kind of notice them. I do have a lot of remnants of the chemo still in my body. One, my joints, ankles, toes, fingers, knees, elbows, back constantly hurt. It's harder for me to get around and do the things that I used to do. The other thing is it has kind of put my hormones out of whack and put me in a state of what they call metabolic syndrome. So I've literally gained 55 pounds since diagnosis. Now, all through chemo, I lost a little weight the first chemo I was on. It was just hard to eat. I was nauseous. I did, eat as well as I could. I still was able to maintain some of my workouts. And then when I changed to the next treatment course of chemo, I gained the weight that I lost on the first set of chemo and then just kept gaining. It became more and more difficult for me to work out because I was in so much pain. So I worked out less and less, and then just dealing with the pain, it makes it very hard for me to stay mobile. Although I try and I am working out, I've realized that the pain is going to be there, and I just have to differentiate between what my normal pain is and what maybe pain from injury is. So I'm working out through my pain in an effort to lose all of that weight. So that's where I am. I'm on the hunt for a new job. Going through cancer was an experience that I hope no one ever has to deal with. But I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about the people around me. I grew tremendously, and even though it kind of sucked, well, not kind of, it definitely sucked, I'm blessed to be able to have gone through that journey. This video is going long, so I'm going to cut it short, and I'll come back with a second video later this week, or maybe even tonight. I have a few things I need to do first. So thank you for following me. Thank you for engaging and encouraging me, inquiring about me. All in all, I'm cancer-free as of technically May 11th, and I'm trying to get my life back on track. So I will talk with you later. Bye.